Hello, it's Kevin here. Video number 2 of the day. We did introduction number 30 just a little while ago. It's a bit quiet this morning, so I'll do video number 2. So, just in case you don't know, we're looking for recently reported IELTS topics. Okay, and we have one here. We've got a sample essay. In this one, I'm going to go through it sentence by sentence. According to our structure, we've got a full essay from a student to examine, review, and we've got 5 introductions to comment on as well. So, what's the topic? In the modern world, is it possible to communicate with people without face-to-face contact? It is. It's possible. So, is it positive or negative that we can talk to people without having face-to-face contact? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You can read this later, some paraphrasing, that's the thesis, that's the introduction. Okay, you can pause and have a look. Let's get on sentence by sentence. Now, we went through this, or we have been through this a few times, where we've, so having a template, as in like not complete sentences that you just change the topic, but a template as in sentence 1, paraphrase, sentence 2, thesis statement, etc. So, paraphrase. In today's digital era, individuals can easily communicate and interact, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you restate the topic in sentence 1. Sentence 2, or possibly 2 and 3, if you haven't seen it, look at the previous video where we've got a two-part question, why and what's the solution. This, only one question. Is it good or bad? This essay argues that it's largely a positive. So this is a more balanced essay, because we're going to make a concession. So this is more kind of a balanced essay. Now, it's possible, and I think for most of you, it's probably better to either come down on yes or no, good or bad. If you're confident in your writing ability, you can have because often they say to what extent, or do you agree or disagree? So you can totally agree or disagree, or you can partially, like in this one here. I'm going to say, well, I think it's largely positive, but we need to consider some drawbacks. So let's take a look at it and see. So, topic sentence. What's the main benefit of online communication? No geographical barriers to talking to people. Explanation. Individuals can maintain relationships. So, my family's in the UK, I can contact them. Okay, internationally, with all my international students, because I've got students from all over the world. Okay. Example. Now, I could have given a personal example of me working on italki, but this is a more general example. If you want to use personal examples, because usually, now it doesn't actually say here, but every essay says write 250 words, give reasons or examples based on your knowledge and or experience. So if you want to use personal ones, you can do. I could have used one here, but that will do. That will do the job. That makes the point. Reinforcement. Connect it back up to the topic. Okay. So I'll just put that there so you can see that. Okay, that's the introduction. Main idea, let's take a look at it. Sorry, body paragraph number 2. Right. Now, we're showing a contrast here. However, or despite this, in spite of that, but anyway, we want something to indicate there's a contrast here. However, it can possibly weaken interpersonal skills. What does that mean? Now, this happened especially with children in COVID. When people interact through screens, it's not so easy to read non-verbal cues. There's no, body language, etc. So for some people, it might be a little bit hard. Now, so, you don't have to be, right, it's not a truth test, right? Your essay writing is not a test of truth. So you can maybe, change things to make a general point or whatever. So, anyway, the main idea can weaken interpersonal skills. What does that mean? Well, if you're primarily interacting through screens, it might be difficult to read non-verbal cues. Okay, that's relatively straightforward. Now, I use this example just for ease of writing, and don't forget, in the test, it's about ease of writing. You've only got 30 minutes, because you need 5 minutes to assess and plan, 5 minutes at the end to check both task 1 and 2, so you only really got 30 minutes. So, under ideal circumstances, you might want to use different examples, but under real-time pressure, whatever you can come up with at the time that works, that's what you've got to go with. Anyway, so, communicating online, I found it hard to... Actually, this is something that quite a lot of people said after COVID, after the scamdemic. Lots of people actually said this, that, speaking to real people, it was a challenge, Anyway, reinforcement, therefore, it's important to balance, blah, blah, blah. Conclusion, restate your main ideas, etc. In summary, in conclusion, greatly enhance global connections, potential drawbacks. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward stuff. I'll just go back and just go through it sentence by sentence. I'll just pause there and pause for your body paragraph 1. Doodly-doo. Pause for body paragraph 2 and your conclusion at the end. Okay. Now, somebody sent us an essay. I'm not sure who it actually was. I think it's someone from the 5 people who have we got 5? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. We usually take the first 5. In our group on Telegram, IELTS 9 Pro, feel free to join if you wish. Links below. If you're not already a member, you can send your writings to us. So I've got the criteria to look at. So let's have a look at it first. Got some changes on if required. So let's get on with this. Come on. Okay. These days, it has provided communication with other people without real-time interaction. But that's not true. It is real-time. It's just not physically. It's not face-to-face. So that's not actually a paraphrase of the topic. Without real, right. If I call my parents in the UK, that's real-time interaction. I'm talking to them at the time, so that's not it, right? It says it's possible to communicate without any face-to-face contact, but not in asynchronous time, without real time. Some benefits associated with that: broadening perspective. Broadening your perspective? Broadening perspectives. Changing boundaries. Its detrimental effects, such as fraud and delusion knowing. That's not very good as a collocation. Illusion? Knowing? That doesn't work. Should not be overlooked. Right, so with the spread of technology and smartphones, because it's pluralized, because it's in general, most people, or most of the people, are taking advantage of its benefits through around the world. They can easily be in touch with other people without limitation. Okay, some people connect no matter where they live or when they are online. Okay, Now, I'm communicating with well, no, I'm not communicating, am I? If I send you an email and you reply to it later when you're online, or if I'm off, then yes, okay, that's what that means. But again, it's talking about, these days we don't have to have face-to-face contact. I can email people, I can call them in real time. So you need to be careful what you're talking about here. I mean, like here, it said without real-time interaction, where it doesn't actually say whether it's real-time or asynchronous time. So you'd have to say what you're talking about. Okay, online, for example, students can be admitted to now and exploit. Now, I don't know if this is a good example without considering the host country. What you mean without leaving? I don't think this is actually true. The majority of students. Without considering what? This is well, right. So, one, it's not the majority of students can be admitted to. I mean, some students can be admitted to top universities. And exploit, is that what you do with your teachers? Now, without considering, now what does that mean? You mean without taking the host country into consideration, or do you mean without leaving it so you can still stay at home? But most top universities don't have this this offline option. You have to go there. So I'm not really sure, so what unis are you talking about? What teachers, majority of students, host country, it's not very clear. Okay. Most people will use it to access a need without boundaries. Yeah, but still though, it's about communication with people, without having to be face to face with them, whether by email, if you say that, or whether me calling you on online. Okay, so and taking they can share and take parallel structure. They can share and take parallel structure. Professional and expert advice. Having online and have experience about those. Or is that right? So right, I can go online now and I can access information about a plethora of subjects, but I'm not communicating with the authors of those articles that I'm reading. Right, so. That could mean simply that. It could simply mean reading some article on the internet to access information. It doesn't necessarily mean, so they also should take advice who are online. So, okay, so, I mean, I would probably not use that sentence. It doesn't really make any sense. As a result, they can boost their knowledge. Right. As a result, they can boost their knowledge and help broaden their perspective. But broaden their perspective in what way? What's being broadened? Perspective? Okay, a little bit vague. On the other hand, with an artificial platform, on an artificial platform, on the internet, on the news, always on. Having a connection provides an illusory recognition. Provides an illusory recognition? I'm not sure what you mean there. Because people do not upload their genuine opinions. What, all people? Why would they upload something that they don't believe. Why would they do that? What does that mean? They don't unload their genuine opinions. I mean, also time to edit their content before posting them. Well, some people do. But, you know, I can talk to you face to face and not tell you my genuine opinion. I could lie to your face in person. That's not necessarily something that I can only do on the internet. This can cause them to pass up the chat. To pass up the chance of knowing people and opportunities that authentic conversation. Oh, this is a bit of a run-on. This can cause them to pass up the chance of knowing people and opportunities that authentic conversation provides us to cognitive what? To cognitively know who someone is as a person. That's a bit of an awkward sentence. Additionally, the internet provides a place for people to trick in order to defraud, to commit fraud, to defraud and exploit. As most people, again, most, is it really most? Can be autonomous. Autonomous? What do you mean? Autonomous means doing something by yourself. Auto. Yourself. Automobile, self-drive, you know. Automotive, so autonomous on the internet. Express themselves with fake information. Well, you've kind of said the same thing. You know, so it's not the genuine. So if it's not the genuine opinions, it must be false. It must be a lie, and they can trick them, express themselves with fake information, take advantage of people who can trust other people easily, and misusing this paragraph here is a little bit long. Now, how many words do we have in this paragraph here? What is it? 184. It's a little bit much for a paragraph. It's probably twice. Hang on, how many words do we have here? 122. Oh. Alright, most popular examples is phishing, in which people click on a link like internet banking and then direct it to select publishers and that's a lengthy paragraph. Right, you know, examiner is going to be going back here. Right, so you say it's the sums of benefits. So you say, well, it's kind of both. Yeah, so that's essentially what you're saying, that it's actually both good and bad. Okay, so why is it good? And people can connect. I'm not sure whether these examples actually work. I'm not sure what you actually mean there. Access information, okay, but that doesn't necessarily mean communication. I think you mean communicating with people who are on, you know, you're communicating, you're writing, talking to them. Okay, so that's one light thing. But we don't really need both those examples there, because that first example doesn't really work. So this whole paragraph here seems to just say that if you don't know people in real life, it could all be a trick. It could all be a lie. It could be a fraud. Well, it takes quite a long time to get to this main idea. So I'm not 100% sure about this, and that paragraph is way too long. Okay. In conclusion, although the internet facilitates interaction with other people without any boundary limitations and helps improve the knowledge, throwback, namely exploitation, the possible exploitation of critical data and unrealistic connection. What does that mean? Should be considered. Right. Let's have a look. Task response first. Nope. Is it clear? Well, no. Not really. Not very clear. Not very. That paragraph number 3, paragraph 2 and like 3, clear central topic. Well, no, it's not very clear. Okay, here we come. All parts of the prompt, appropriate formats. Right now, yeah. Okay, this is a bit more like it. Unclear, unjustified. As in some of those examples. So, right, I give it for task response, I give it 6. For cohesion, coherence, I would probably give it 6 as well. Should I give it 7? This is a clear progression, right? So the coherence part is, can you effortlessly follow what the message is? And with this one, no. I've got to reread and go back and try and work out what is going on here. It's not. Okay, right. Just for the sake of argument, I'll give that a 7. So we've got 6 and 7. Now, error-free sentences are frequent. Errors and punctuation occur. Similar accuracy. Okay, I'll probably give it error-free sentences. How many errors do we have? Some. Probably error-free sentences. How many without an error? Not so many. There's an error in a lot of sentences here. Okay, but right, I'll say, just for the sake of argument, I'll give it a 7 for that as well. Okay. I think I'm being overly generous here. Oops, sorry, that should be there. What do I think about the vocab? Inappropriacies occur. Okay, less common items. Okay. So, if I say 6, 7, 7, 7. Right, let's get on to the scoring part. Let's have a look. 6, 7, 7, 7. Divide it by 4. Let's get the calculator. Come on. 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 equals 27 divided by 4 equals 6.75. So I would probably give that 6.5. Round it down. Probably give it 6.5. Because some of it is just a bit convoluted. It's not so easy to work out what you're trying to tell me. It's not terrible, but I don't think you would be getting more than 6 and 6.5 for this one. There's too many grammatical errors. It's not so clear, what you're talking about. So this is why it's important to have a good structure, like we've just seen here, right? Sentence by sentence, main idea, answer the question, main idea, explain, example, etc. If you have a good structure, you're halfway there to a good essay. And our readers' contributions or group members. Without weigh its detriments. Okay, well, it specifically says, is it good or bad? It's not an advantage outweigh disadvantage question, right? Which you might get, so I might keep that in mind. Has caused to omit. What has caused people to omit? Well, we're not omitting. That means to leave something out. The demand of physical interactions. The demand is there. Demand for physical interactions. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to say here. Telecommunication. Well, it's not based on the internet improvement. Telecommunication based on the internet improvement. You mean advances in communications? What's the topic again? Hang on. What's the exact wording? Right. So, sentence 1, right? Restate that. Today, currently, today's world, you can communicate via the internet without face-to-face interaction. That's what you should have for sentence 1. Advantage, I stand with those, it's benefits, outweighs drawbacks. But right, it's not an advantage versus disadvantage essay. It says, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? No. Broad communication settings. Well, right, that's not very good in terms of a structure. That's not what the examiners are looking for at all. Communicating with others online possible in a contemporary era needless of any in-person interactivities. Positive development. Okay, all right. Yet with much. Okay. So that's a lot clearer, right? That's pretty straightforward stuff. Modern eras. In the modern, how many eras do you think we have? It must be impossible for the internet communication. Right, that's not the same as face-to-face. If I'm communicating with you online and we're talking, that's real life. It's not artificial, but it's not in person. Do you mean it's detrimental? Effects, detrimental, is that what you mean? Illusion, knowing, and fraud cannot be overlooked. Well, I think that's the essay we've just had a look at. So, right. You need to be careful with your paraphrasing, right? Make sure you encapsulate the main ideas of the topic, right? Sentence 1, paraphrase that. Sentence 2, yes, it's good, no, it's bad. Or, it's partly good, it's partly bad. Or whatever. But having that structure, very important, right? We've got lots of videos where we go through this, sentence by sentence approach. It makes it a lot clearer and easier for the examiner. And they will reward you accordingly. Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. Okay, anyway, hope that helps. I'll see you next time. I'm not sure what we're doing for next video as yet, but anyway, links below if you're watching on YouTube. If you want to contact me in person, if you want to join the group, feel free to do so. And I'll